The secret to helping parents adjust children's behavior. A guide to a happy family. Hello, dear parents. Today I want to share with you a topic that is incredibly important and close to the heart of every parenting journey. Adjusting our children's behavior. This isn't just a skill, it's an art that requires sincerity, patience, and love. In this talk, I'll guide you through effective techniques to help your child reduce undesirable behaviors and build positive habits. We'll explore methods like positive discipline, negative discipline, positive reinforcement, and negative reinforcement. More importantly, I'll share the golden principles for applying these techniques successfully. Consistency, maintaining habits, flexibility, and patience. Let's dive in together. Discipline, understanding and applying it with love. Dear friends, when we mention discipline, many of us might immediately think of strictness or punishment. But in truth, discipline isn't about hurting our children. It's about guiding them onto the right path. Discipline comes in two forms: positive discipline and negative discipline. Don't get confused here. Positive and negative don't mean good or bad. They refer to adding or removing something to change a child's behavior. Imagine one day you discover your child lied about cleaning their room. But in reality, it's still a mess, like a battlefield. This is where positive discipline can come in. You add an unpleasant stimulus to help them understand and change. For example, you might ask them to do household chores for a week. This isn't about punishing them. It's about helping them see the consequences of dishonesty. However, I want to emphasize something important. Experts, like researcher Knox M. in 2010, have pointed out that spanking is also a form of positive discipline. But it's not recommended. Physical punishment can lead to unpredictable consequences, affecting a child's mental health and the parent-child relationship. So, let's choose gentler, more effective approaches, okay? Next, let's talk about negative discipline. This is when you remove a pleasant stimulus to reduce unwanted behavior. For instance, when your child throws a tantrum to demand a toy, instead of giving in or paying attention, you might ignore them. By taking away the attention they crave, they'll gradually learn that tantrums aren't the way to get what they want. This requires patience from us as parents. But when applied correctly, it can work wonders. Reinforcement, encouraging your child with love and support. Now, let's move on to another key aspect: reinforcement. This is how we encourage or discourage specific behaviors in our children. And it's also divided into positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. I truly believe that when used correctly, reinforcement can be the key to building a happy family. First, let's explore positive reinforcement. According to a study by Geiger KB and colleagues in 2010, positive reinforcement involves praising or rewarding your child for good behavior. For example, when your child completes their homework on their own, you might say something warm like, "I'm so proud of you," and give them an extra 5 minutes of screen time. These small praises or rewards help your child feel appreciated, making them more likely to repeat that good behavior. But here's something to keep in mind. Rewards can lose their value over time. If you give your child candy every time they make their bed, they'll be excited at first. But eventually, the candy won't feel special anymore. So, make positive reinforcement consistent yet surprising. For instance, your child doesn't know if they'll get a reward today, but they know that if they keep making their bed, there might be a little surprise now and then. This keeps them motivated in the long run. Next, we have negative reinforcement. This is when you remove something unpleasant to encourage your child to change their behavior. For example, if your child stops a bad behavior because they're being scolded, they're trying to avoid the unpleasantness of your reprimand. However, just like positive reinforcement, overusing negative reinforcement can reduce its effectiveness. So, use it thoughtfully and gently, so your child feels loved rather than afraid. Golden rules for success in behavior adjustment. Dear friends, we can't force our children to change their behavior, but we can create an environment that motivates them to change willingly. To do this, I'd like to share some golden rules that every parent should keep in mind. Let's start with consistency. If you praise your child for doing chores, keep doing it until it becomes a habit for them. Don't give up halfway. And it's not just you, everyone in the family, from grandparents to caregivers to teachers, needs to work together. When everyone applies discipline and reinforcement consistently, your child will adjust their behavior much faster. For example, if you use time out when your child hits a friend but only do it once out of 5 times, the discipline won't have an impact. Instead, use time out every time they misbehave, so they understand that there are always consequences. Next, maintain habits. Adjusting behavior isn't a one-and-done task. Even when your child has developed a good habit or stopped a bad behavior, you need to keep monitoring and reinforcing it. Once they're comfortable with the desired behavior, you can adjust how you apply it. For example, at first, you might praise or reward them every time they do a chore. But over time, you can reduce the frequency of praise, switch to different rewards, or simply give them a loving hug. This keeps the encouragement meaningful without letting it become routine. Another key point is flexibility. Every child is unique, and no single approach works for everyone. Positive discipline might work wonders for your older child, but your younger one might respond better to positive reinforcement. As parents, you know your child better than anyone. If one method isn't working, don't hesitate to tweak it or try something new. Be flexible to find what suits your child best. Finally, be patient and realistic. Adjusting behavior isn't a quick fix. It's a long process that requires patience and love. Some days, your child might slip back into unwanted behavior, and that's completely normal. When that happens, take a deep breath, stay calm, and keep guiding them. Success doesn't come overnight, but with persistence, you'll see your child grow and improve day by day. Dear friends, the parenting journey is never easy, but it's a deeply meaningful one. With the behavior adjustment techniques I've shared, positive discipline, negative discipline, positive reinforcement, and negative reinforcement, along with principles like consistency, maintaining habits, flexibility, and patience, I hope you'll find confidence and inspiration to walk alongside your child. Remember, every small step you take today lays the foundation for a happy family in the future. Wishing you all success and endless love.